Hey, what's going on, folks? Welcome back to the Real Legend of Gaming. We are back with some Arena of Valor for the Nintendo Switch. Now, folks, we're going to show you our first grand battle. Man, I got to admit, folks, I was very impressed with how the game plays. And I thought the controls would have been weird on the Nintendo Switch when it comes to the actual controller. They actually work, and they work very smoothly to the point where after a few matches, you kind of remember everything. You don't even need to look at the controllers to do your attacks. Like, it's just smooth. You pull off your combos, you do your upgrades, you do your equipment item purchases. Like, it just works very fluidly. Smooth business. All right, so let's get into this match, folks. All right, so some of this information will be for newer players, but when you start your grand battles, obviously it's going to be a 5-on-5. Now, important things to look at is your team composition. The game does help you and tell you on the bottom and gives you a clue on what type of hero you should pick once your teammates have selected who they want to use. And I'll give you an example here. Everyone else chose we have a mage, we have a tank, we also have a warrior, and then we have a support character. The game is telling me that there's not enough warriors, so I chose Thane, who's a tank and a warrior, because I felt like it could give us a good advantage by having another tank. However, it's telling us now that we do not have enough marksmen. But when I go over to marksmen, it says that we don't have enough warriors. So in cases like that, it's okay with the team composition that you have, but you want to still make sure that you're able to have coverage for every class available. So by having Crixie, we have our mage. To be honest with you, we should have a marksman on his team. Omega probably should have switched over so that we could have had a marksman, but it's fine, right? Now, on the opposite team, if you notice, they have a pretty good composition, but they don't have a mage. So, those are things just to look at, very important items. It does make a big difference when playing your ranked matches. All right, so once the match starts, you got two things that you need to do. The first is you need to determine which equipment item you want to pre-purchase. By doing so, you tap the left button on your D-pad, and you're able to go into your purchase tree, where you can pre-purchase the item that you want to work towards. We did Banner or Raw, and then you got to choose what ability you want to work on. So you do that with the X button, and you get to choose either left or right to focus on your ability. It's different for each character, and it also depends on your playstyle as well, and what makes sense for that class. So everybody's going to a specific lane. Since I'm a tank, I could solo lane. I can take a lot of damage, and I can also deal damage back, and I can also clear the minions with no problem. And because again I can do a lot of damage, I can keep opponents away and either chase them away or finish them off. But obviously you don't want to overextend and put yourself in a situation where you're going against a 1v2, or where you're running into that area where the tower is with no protection, because that would just get you killed by the beams from the tower. So, in the beginning of the matches, it's ideal to kill the minions and try to level up. Engage in battle only when you need to. So like you see right there, we're going to do a lot of damage to him, but I'm not going to chase him because I don't want to get hit by the tower. I think we got hit one time there, but the idea is just not to overextend. Now, what I like about the Switch version is they really mapped all these controls very well. I felt like they were really set up perfectly for the controller. So first ability is the left bumper, second ability is the right bumper. Your restore you use with the B button. Your special ability you're able to do with ZL. And then your commands you do with your directional pad. So like if you tap up, you'll see all your commands that you could choose, like rally, retreat, attack. So those are all there. So you see somebody just did rally. Now when someone says rally, it's important to look at the bottom right, which is the map. The map is I should have probably said this first, it's the most important thing you need to look at, because it shows you what's going on in the match. It shows you everywhere where your opponents are, if they're visible, right, because they could be hiding, and everywhere where your teammates are. So if you see one of your teammates becoming overwhelmed, you might need to shift over to help them out. Or if you see there's a lot of minions on the lane, you might need to follow them in order to take out a tower. You just got to watch the map very carefully. So back to the commands, right? When somebody says rally, look on the map, most likely they want everyone to pull together to push towards a tower or to team up for a fight. So it's important to pay attention to the commands. Now, well, you will have your people that are using the commands wrong, or if they're, in a situation that they put themselves in. So, you just got to use your judgment. And right here, see, we took care of that Omega. We're clearing out the minions. And notice, we haven't really engaged much, right? We just took care of the Omega. We're leveling up, which allows us to increase our abilities. We're getting golds, which allows us to build up our equipment, which raises our stats. And now that our minions are there, we can do damage against this tower without getting hit by it. So right there, we got our first tower. And we're going to attack this Omega, keep him away. We have our ultimate, so we're able to do massive damage. And I'm not going to chase him. I'm going to let him walk away. Now, what you want to do is once your purchase items are available, you want to be able to activate that feature. You can go to a bush, or you can safely get away from battle and do it. Or if you don't want to worry about that, there is the auto purchase and auto upgrade option. So again, if you want to do that, it's totally okay. I think eventually you might see the value in deciding what you want to upgrade and what you want to purchase based on the flow of the match. So we did man on Ra already, so now we're going to go to guy standard, because at that point I like to build up my HP and get some regeneration. Now we have our teammate, we can continue engaging against this Omega. And with the minions there, we're going to go towards the tower. And we clear out the minion wave again. So whenever somebody says clear the minions, they're talking about those little monsters. Now you gotta be careful because there's only one minion there. So you want to be able to attack the opponent, but you also want to minimize the amount of damage that you receive. So right there, we're going to get ourselves quickly out of that situation. Now, because I'm playing with a tank and I have a tank build, I was able to sustain a lot more damage than a lot other characters normally would. So try not to be aggressive like that. So folks, I basically explained everything that is on the, the HUD screen, so you guys can understand what is what. I think one thing I forgot to explain was the recall option. So if you hold down the button underneath that blue logo on the left hand side of the middle, it allows you to go back to your home base from anywhere on the map. It takes a couple seconds, but you go back and then you can heal yourself up at no cost and without having to use one of your abilities. Alright, so that was pretty much it. Another thing that I want to point out too, top right hand side shows you your in-game stats. So you see I have 6 kills, no deaths, and 2 assists. So the swords is the kills, the skulls is deaths, and the fists are assists. And then on the bottom right, if you see that magnifying glass, that allows you to pull up the map, and you can pinpoint a specific spot on the map where you want everyone to pay attention to. So for example, if you see opponents rushing towards the tower, and there's no one over there, you can pinpoint that location to tell and command somebody to go to that area of the map. Right, that's very helpful. And there's also chat in the game, which is the button right next to it. You'll tap on that and you can type the chat on the screen. And that's pretty much it, folks. So I'm going to leave you with the rest of the gameplay of this match. I do appreciate all the support. If you enjoyed this content and you want more Arena of Valor for the Nintendo Switch and for the mobile, then definitely subscribe to the channel. Alright, so other than that, peace out, folks.
Victory draws near. Attack!
Your team has destroyed a tower. Legendary!
Light, bring us to victory! Behind me!
Legendary!
I shall not back
An
down.
enemy has been defeated. Double kill. Your team has destroyed a tower. Attack! Your team has destroyed a tower.
I'm on my way.
Bloodbath. Onslaught.
Attack!
It's over. Legendary.
Victory draws near.
Your team has destroyed a tower. Bloodbath.
I fight for the greater good.
Dominating. Legendary.
Light, bring us to victory.
Double kill.
I'm on my way.
Your team has destroyed a tower.
Ha! Might unchecked.
Triple kill.